Hey, happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome back to the I-5 Corridor's Traffic Report. Tyson Alger here, joined by Justin Myers. Justin, how's your bye week, man? Are you well rested? Are you over the Penn State hangover? Because Penn State doesn't seem to be.
Penn State was not over the Penn State hangover. I wasn't up until Monday, and then I got super pumped for this Indiana game. And then with the announcement the game day is coming to Eugene, and it's going to be another massive game. I was trying to think, obviously Ohio State last year, which I think everybody had anticipated for really since the first one got canceled, right? The first one got canceled in 2020. Then
they put out that weird image, or that picture of the duck and the Buckeye in Autzen.
Yeah.
Or it was leaked, and we never quite figured out what exactly that was supposed to be for. And
then once all the news came in that that Oregon's going to the Big Ten, and that that Ohio State game was that was a standalone game. If we can be honest, every other Big Ten game at Autzen has been pretty meh.
Well, what else did we have last year? We had
Illinois, Maryland, Washington, which technically counts.
Sorry, Washington.
I think those were the three outside of Ohio State.
Oh, and Michigan State.
And Michigan State, yes, which was also meh.
Yeah. Doesn't look good for Jonathan Smith right now.
No, that UCLA job though. Anyways, so yeah, you got in the first season of the Big Ten, yes, you got the Ohio State classic Autzen experience, but every other, I remember being at, and it was weird weather last year. I remember being at the Illinois game, right around this time, it was hot, and it was this doesn't feel like Big Ten football. And now this week, it might rain this weekend. It's at least going to be, sweatshirt weather. Right. Indiana's good.
Weta.
Yeah. Indiana's good. Game day's coming to Autzen, and it's the juice is coming back.
It feels like a more real version of what a standard Big Ten week. Because as you said, that Ohio State game, that's an outlier. That's the biggest game of the year for Oregon, no matter what year they're playing, what era they're playing. That's a standalone. This is the Stanford, the Indiana being a top 10. This is kind of the new maybe Stanford game within the Oregon schedule. One where it's this is going to be an awesome game at Autzen. It's going to be a great environment, top 10 game day. It's not going to quite be that Ohio State, but this is that solid A- range that you're going to settle into. That I think is a little bit more sustainable, if you will, for the anticipation and just how hard people go at those games.
So I'm pumped for this game. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. I was hoping Kurt Cignetti would say something. Mm-hmm. He hasn't yet, but we got a couple of days. But you mentioned Penn State, and I have some thoughts, Tyson, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, no,
because this podcast has done a lot for me personally, and one of which is giving me an outlet. Mm-hmm. Because I used to have 3 hours to just get all my stuff out every morning, and then my poor wife is is the podcast day yet? Because you're spitting. So if you wouldn't mind, I noticed some hot takes after Penn State lost to UCLA by a lot of Oregon fans and some media members that I'm slapping my forehead. Penn State losing to UCLA, zero, zilch, none, nada affects Oregon in any way, shape, or form. Wrap that around your heads. It is a bad loss for Penn State. It does not negate the road win that Oregon got at Penn State. It doesn't negate Oregon's chances to win a national championship. It has literally no effect. If Oregon does not make the playoff because Penn State lost at UCLA in horrific fashion, something else has gone terribly wrong.
Right.
The shit has hit the fan in other ways down the stretch of the season. People are panicking. They're like, oh, the win doesn't look so good. No, the win looks just fine. It's a road win in the Big Ten. Penn State's going to be ranked by the end of the season. Or maybe they're not. Even if they're not, it doesn't matter. I don't understand why people are still clinging to the idea that strength of schedule seems to matter as much as it mattered when it was a 14 playoff, or even like it feels like old BCS like thought process. Like it doesn't matter.
Is the worry and concern from the Oregon fan base the playoff implication of it, or what Penn State showed in that UCLA game tarnishes maybe how good they thought, or like that how Oregon was in that game, and maybe because after the Penn State win, all of a sudden people are going like, boy, this team could win a national title. Like the conversation changed. You think the concern is more like, oh, maybe that was smoke and mirrors and we still got to prove it because maybe Penn State's not that good?
I think both of those were kind of woven in there.
Okay.
Let's address both. I kind of already did the one thing. It has no effect on Oregon making the playoff whatsoever. Oregon wins 10 games this year. They're going to the playoff. You could drop 2 games in the regular season. Oregon still going to the playoff. That win at Penn State still going to come up in consideration because everything's a narrative.
Right.
And the narrative, even if Penn State limps to the end of the season, it's like, yeah, but at the time, and you can spin it your own way, shape, or form. The other part of it, which is an interesting thought, is like maybe you just went to double overtime with the team that lost to UCLA, a UCLA team that up until Saturday has not led a second of football. Like that's the stat going into that game. UCLA, when they took the lead against Penn State, that was their first lead of the season.
You can make the argument that till that point, UCLA had been just as bad or possibly worse than Oregon State.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had fired their coach. They had punted on the season. And as I mentioned, had not led a single second of football in 2025. And they went out and beat Penn State. But again, you and I have watched a lot of college football, and certain things in college football are stereotypes or tropes, and certain things are actually real. Hangover games, look-ahead games.
You just got your heart ripped out at home in front of 111,000 people, and then you got to go play a game in front of nobody. Like, that's a real thing.
That is 100% a real thing. I've seen it enough to know. Like, that is not and I hate saying, like, oh, the better team lost. Like, I hate doing no. That day, UCLA was better. They play 10 more times. UCLA is not going to win any of those. But on that day, at that moment, where Penn State's head was, emotionally, everything else, all of that led to what is a perfect. And UCLA bringing up Neuheisel's kid, who's calling plays. Like, they have no, like, Penn State was going in blind against a team that was running a completely different offense.
Right.
Like, they changed offenses in the middle of the season. Again, you should never lose to that team, but like, all of those things lead to what is an upset. It has nothing to do with the Penn State and the whiteout, 111,000 people that we saw Oregon go to double overtime with in a classic football game. Neither one of those concerns matter at all moving forward.
I think one of the things that we kind of forget about is, because obviously the discussion since the Penn State game from the Penn State side has been like James Franklin, like he's not the dude. It's basically been at this point 10 straight days of we got to move on from this guy. The amount of buy-in that it takes for a team to play as well as it did in that Oregon game from both sides, like, take this Saturday away, that was still an awesome football game at Penn State. It was one of the most physical football games I've seen in a long time. And as we saw in the Ducks versus them a couple days later, I think that really gives you an insight into just how much work is put into each one of these games. And when you're Penn State, that work is helped by the fact that this is our year. We have our team back. Mm-hmm. We made it to the Big Ten title game last year, and that wasn't good enough. We made it a round through the playoffs, and that wasn't good enough. And to kind of have that completely taken away from you after a double overtime game, where at the end of that fourth quarter, every single person in that stadium thought Penn State was going to win.
Yeah,
you've come all the way back. You score first in the overtime. You have 4th and 1 for Oregon. You're 2 yards away from being probably number 1 in the country, and then that's gone. And then you have a whole week of just this team's frauds. Drew Aller is not the quarterback we thought. James Franklin can't coach. I just think we have to give these coaches. I don't know if credit's the right word, but the job that James Franklin had amidst all of this to try to pull that team back together to play UCLA, I think is very challenging. And they didn't succeed in that challenge whatsoever. But college football's tough, man.
I mean, I talk a lot on this podcast and in my show before about the secret sauce of college. Like, what, Tyson? Why is college football so popular? It makes no sense on paper. It's not a better product than the NFL. The NFL is a better football product.
I mean, you just can't drop those plays like the Jaguars won on Friday or Monday night falling over.
Have your guard trip you.
Yeah.
Trip yourself. Get up. Score a game-winning touchdown.
I asked Dante Moore about that yesterday, just like as a quarterback watching that. Well, he's just like, sometimes you just got to pray.
Yeah. But the NFL is a better product. So how is it that college football packs 111,000 people in the stadium to watch an inferior product? Right there in Western Pennsylvania, the Steelers are right there, the Eagles are right there. Like what is it? What's the secret sauce of college football? And the secret sauce is it's unpredictable. It's because you are dealing with 19, 20, and 21-year-olds, even though they're getting paid like grown professionals, even though they look physically like grown professionals, they are emotional children. And emotional children will go into a game against UCLA, taking a fun trip to LA, maybe thinking about like, are we gonna go see the Hollywood sign? And thinking this UCLA stinks. We're gonna play 3/4 speed and we're gonna get a win. And you get beat. Like in the NFL, every NFL player knows that it doesn't matter if it's the worst NFL team. You have to show up. And you have to play 100%. This is the emotional roller coaster of college football, which makes it unpredictable, which makes it so entertaining. It's Game of Thrones, right?
Well,
who knows who's going to get knocked off this week?
I mean, just like in the NFL this week, you saw Buffalo lose to New England, and like, I don't think all of a sudden like the sky's falling in Buffalo. You had the Chiefs. I mean, maybe the sky's falling in Kansas City, because that's getting a little bit. But it's just, yeah. For me as I'm not the biggest NFL fan in the world. I follow the Seahawks, but I'm not, I'm not a 12, if you will, even though I do have like a sign over there. But yeah, it's the secret sauce. Like in college football, it's the everything that rides on like the games and the unpredictability and like what used to be the massive narrative that could change like from just one game. And the NFL, it's just, you follow along with your fantasy. And this isn't, if you're a diehard fan of a certain team, obviously it's different in the NFL. But college football is a different animal, and I enjoy it.
I remember I was listening to somebody talking about golf, and they made a great analogy about golf. It's like why is golf? Why is it so popular? Like why do people spend so much money and spend so much time playing golf? And it was because, let's be honest, Tyson, you and I, we were pretty good athletes at one point in time in our lives. I'm never going to be a better baseball player than I was when I was 19 years old. I don't care how hard I work. My 46-year-old ligaments, joints, and bones will not allow me to.
Yeah, but I bet you could work a count way better now. You understand pitching dynamics.
But I will never be better at that sport than when I was a junior college player at 19. You still like to play hockey, but you know that your best hockey days are behind you, and they are not ever going to be in front of you. It's not going to happen. Mother Nature has told you
Did my wife put you up to this?
No, because if you still enjoy playing at your level, that's great. You could go and play golf. You and I could go play golf tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It might be our best day.
That's a good point.
It might be.
That's a good point.
It could we could have our best day of golf tomorrow.
I did play around on Friday, wedding weekend for a buddy.
Yeah.
Terrible round of golf.
Just
absolutely terrible. But get to 18. Hit the nicest drive of my life. Like, not even an exaggeration.
Yeah.
300 yards, like 10 feet from the green.
You should just pick it up and walk.
Well, no. Well, I probably should, because I'd turn that into a 6. Magic. But, it's that exact thing. It's that, like, little bit of, like, oh, my God, I could pretend. So that's why I'll be playing again this week.
And then I bring that up once we're talking about college football, because, like, nothing about UCLA's season is anything to celebrate. Yet for one day, they had their best day. It's like it is possible in college football. If you are physically inferior, you could catch a good team on a bad day, on your best day, and like that's why I love college football so much. Is like Oregon going up against Oregon State. That first quarter was like, oh no. Like, is this their best day? Like, are they going to do this? Ultimately, no. But there's always that thought of like the opponent you are playing. This is coming from the vision of a fan of a very good team. Any team on the schedule, it might be their best day.
So this is a bit of a veer, but it's somewhat related. Oregon State is currently 0-6 on the season.
Ouch.
They just fired their special teams coach because that'll do it. They have home games still against Wake Forest, against Lafayette, against Washington State, against Sam Houston, and that's it for their home games.
Yeah.
Which one of those games, if Oregon State is able to notch their first win of the season, is it a field storming? Is it a what's the reaction if Oregon State gets a win?
Only the Cougs.
Yeah.
The Cougs is the only team on that list. Wake Forest is probably the best team.
Correct.
But I mean,
the 3-2 Demon Deacons.
Who storms the field against Wake Forest? Like, there's no familiarity there. Tuesdays it has no feel. Like Wake Forest today, Wake Forest game has no feel.
Where is Wake Forest?
Wake Forest, I believe, is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Survey says, ding, ding, ding.
Boom.
Well done.
You know how like we talked about, there's nothing better than just sitting around after a couple of drinks and just naming dudes. I had friends that our favorite thing to do was to name a college, and you had to name the city it was in.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
UConn.
Well, it's in Connecticut.
What city?
You gotta help me out here.
Not Hartford.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Hartford's one city in Connecticut. I know. What is it?
Stores.
Yeah, no way I would have
No
gotten
way.
that. Ball State.
Ball State, I believe, is in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Or no.
Ooh, you're not gonna get this.
Wait, no. Ball State.
No,
Ball State is in Indiana. It is in Indiana.
Warmer.
Is it Fort Wayne?
Muncie.
University
of Alaska Anchorage.
Nailed it. Fairbanks.
No, those are those damn Nanooks. That's a good game.
It is a good game.
Yeah.
More to come.
Yeah.
As the podcast continues. You mentioned it before we started recording, but like going into this game, it's kind of like Wake Forest, right? For Oregon State. Like, you're not going to storm the field. Like, if you're Oregon, the idea that, and again, I was there in 2004 when Indiana came in and upset Oregon, 5 turnovers. I think 4 of them were in the red zone. Like, I was at that game. But, like, Indiana is good. Like, we talked about, like, Penn State last week, like, uniforms are magic. Like, the opposite is true of Indiana. Like, they are good. Kurt Signetti, I win, Google me. One of the best coaching lines of all time. It's great. It's great. Like, I win, Google me. But he's just one of those dudes that, like, everywhere he goes, he finds ways to win. They were good enough to make the playoff last year. Obviously, they kind of got their teeth kicked in against Notre Dame, but they're good. Oregon's a touchdown favorite. They're ranked. They're undefeated, coming off of a bye. This can be a good football game.
And it's, we made a deal. I'm not going to say a big deal, but going into the Penn State game, we talked about, their rushing attack. And you do have Drew Aller, who's the most experienced quarterback, coming back. But ultimately, Penn State is not an explosive offense. They haven't been all year. They were not in that Oregon game, save for a couple plays in that fourth quarter. But that's not an offense that is expected to come out and just gash you. Indiana's averaging like 50 points per game. Fernando Mendoza... This isn't a game where I think Dante Moore can, like, win the Heisman yet, but he could lose this one.
Yeah.
Because Fernando Mendoza is one of the other quarterbacks that's in the discussion. He has just as good of stats as Dante Moore, pretty actual similar stats. And if he's able to come into Autzen and upset the Ducks in front, basically the whole situation that the Ducks had at Penn State, that will be a passing of ships there.
Yes.
I'm fascinated to see how Oregon's pass defense does in this game, because we made, after the Montana State game, we were like, well, you can't really gauge anything because it's Montana State. And so Oklahoma State came in and you're going, well, they like to air it out a little bit. They're airing out their complete coaching staff at the moment because that wasn't a very good team or offense or anything. They went into Northwestern. Northwestern can't throw. They ran the ball a little bit, but that's about it. They go into Oregon State. Oregon State can't throw the ball.
Sensing a theme here.
Yeah. So this is, we've kind of cried wolf a couple times about some of these opponents coming in. This one's like legit, and not only can they throw the ball, they're that kind of RPO type of offense. So this will be a challenge for not only the secondary, but I think a lot of kind of the guys in the front seven too. Yeah,
it's going to be the best quarterback that they've seen all year, and maybe by far, maybe the best quarterback. And I'm thinking ahead. Like, I think Damon Williams is pretty good. But especially that second half he had last weekend. But this is probably going to be the best quarterback that Oregon faces all year until they get to the playoff.
Yeah.
Again, kind of going back to what I started off complaining about. The Penn State loss to UCLA could also be a little bit of a blessing, because Dan Lanning is the best at messaging. Mm-hmm. Finding a message, finding a theme, finding something. And if you don't think that outcome down in Los Angeles wasn't plastered all over the Hatfield-Dowling complex. There it is. I almost said the one for the Seattle Seahawks that I used to work at.
What's the name of that one?
That one is the Virginia Mason Athletic Center.
There you go.
It's not the Virginia Mason. It's the Hatfield-Dowling complex. But if you don't think that message being driven home, along with whatever it's a cut or the theme, geography and all that.
The theme for this week they let us into, I think it was Jamari Johnson gave us the hint. It's Dan Lanning's leaning into horse racing and Secretariat. Secretariat won more than just one big race. It's won a lot of races. So
heart was twice as big as other horses. I wonder if that's going to come up.
I love the messaging Lanning uses. I think it's a pretty brilliant way of connecting, X's and O's with kind of like heart and mentality and focus. It's so funny to me though when they show the Ducks versus them, and he has like the PowerPoint with like the quotes and like the broken window theory.
Yeah.
And I would love to be able to be a fly on the wall with like whoever is putting like the PowerPoint slides together. I think it would just be kind of fascinating how the sausage is made.
Wait a minute. Okay, so death of 1,000 cuts, and everything is going to be a cut, and all week long something good. We're gonna call it out. That's a cut. That's a cut, and then we're gonna do a whole PowerPoint. Got it.
It's got to be so tough to be their video staff, like if they lost that game and spending all week just trying to find like through the hundreds of hours of practice film you've done, like every time someone said that's a cut, or like in the game someone said that's a cut, and then you just can't, and then that's a cut.
That is literally a cut.
You can't use it. Yeah.
But again, we talked about like Penn State, like they probably could have used some weird messaging. I don't know what James Franklin was telling his team, but whatever he did, it didn't work.
It was probably like duck hunting.
Or going into UCLA, like whatever the message was going from that game to the UCLA game, it didn't connect. So
they should license out their PowerPoints that they've put together for like certain teams.
Yeah.
So like, next time Ohio State's going to play Michigan, he can steal Lanning's like slides on. What was there? Like we want to like wave at them as they leave or the jump around at Wisconsin.
Jump around's going to become our song.
Yeah.
Michigan was the the Coach K quote of calling a timeout and watching the opposing team walk out, which, I mean, like Lanning, and I say this as a compliment, I really do. Like, he dances the line of cocky and asshole so brilliantly. Yeah. And when I say asshole, like, I mean that as a compliment. Football is a game where you have to have that in you. I love
the only coach who like publicly kind of, and I'm going to use this word because it's what this other coach does, but publicly kind of just trolls as much as Dan does, or like kind of embraces we're going to like stick it to these guys and people are going to know about it, is Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
But Kiffin does it in a way that like he's done it so egregiously with like some of the things that he retweets or trolls or whatever, that like it's kind of like ha Lane Kiffin. With Dan, it's like this guy might be serious, like, but I don't know.
All right. Other big thing happening in Eugene. College game day, second game in a row, back-to-back games. I was trying to think.
Is this too much game day?
Well, I was going to ask, like, is game day still I remember the first. I'm going to date myself, but that's fine. I do it a lot. I remember the first time college game day came to Eugene.
2000, right?
It was in 2000. It was against UCLA. It was on the soccer field, which then became the Hatfield Dowling Complex, which is now currently under construction. Like, that's how long ago the first game day was. Like, it was in a place that has been bulldozed and built twice over since. And it was such a huge deal. And then I remember that 2007 run with Dennis Dixon. College game day came twice. Mm-hmm. They came twice in one season. Now, and I was thinking back, like, I don't think it's ever been, like, they've been to Oregon games twice, sometimes 3 times in a season. Never back to back though.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere. I still think no matter what, especially for kids with energy, I don't have the energy to get up early and go to game day. I prefer watching it from the comfort of a couch. But it's just interesting that, like, now it's become just a thing.
Right.
It's expected every year. And it's a good thing. I'm not, has Oregon become too accustomed? No, like, it's a cool thing when college game day comes. But now it's just kind of what happens. You used to be, like, worried, like, game days in town, is there going to be distractions? And now it's like, no, this is the world you live in.
It's part of the weekly circus for Oregon.
Exactly.
They had game day last year with the Ohio State game, I believe. So that was Eugene's kind of first helping of the new game day, where like McAfee is a thing, and it's just kind of like, it's, the kind of the changing of the guard from Corso putting on the head as like the big highlight to, what college kid is going to have a mental breakdown when he's trying to kick a field goal for $300,000.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, like it's still a cool thing. Like, we were talking about this in like the office, and like we're going to have, like, our photographer is going to go out there, and it's like great for that. But it's like, do you do the whole like story of like the game day experience, get there early, and because like ESPN will do that a lot, where they'll be like, hey, local media, if you want to like kind of like be in the pen and watch how it goes. But it's like, this is probably the 12 years on the Ducks beat. I would say this is probably the 12th or 13th time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, yeah, it's game day. Like, yeah, it's a cool thing and it draws more attention, but like, it's no difference than like if the Ducks get like the NBC, like, or like the primetime game or whatever. It's just like, yeah, that's the territory of being the number. What are we? Were they 4? 3?
3.
They fell back a spot after.
They were at 2. Miami lead.
Okay, so yeah, so I think they're at 3. Yeah.
Again,
facts. Yeah.
Yeah, because that AP poll, it still matters.
Yeah.
The important thing, Tyson.
Do you watch game day?
I do.
Okay, I don't.
There's something about that opening, like, early Saturday morning that just gets my blood flowing.
Yeah.
I love. Now, I fast forward through a lot of it because obviously you get that unlimited DVR on that YouTube TV, no free ads. But I watched the beginning. Like, there's only so many times I can see them break down what an RPO is.
Right.
Like, and so I fast forward through it. I watched the heartwarming story that usually makes me cry. Fast forward, kicking contest. The awkward interview of the coach on the field with the AirPods.
Yeah.
Usually make it through one or two questions, and then I can't because it's just the delay kills me. I don't know why they keep doing that segment, but 3 hours is a lot.
I do think the issue with the amount of game days that Oregon has accumulated is, as we found, Oregon's kind of running out of alumni.
I was just going to get to that. Like, the guest picker, what, like...
Because if you, like...
It used to be like, oh, it's going to be Phil, and it's like... No, it's not.
Yeah.
I think he did it once, a long time ago. Sabrina had her time. Was it Caitlin Olsen?
Caitlin Olsen did it.
Which I thought was great.
Yeah.
Very funny. But yeah, the ties to Oregon is going to be interesting. I've got a wild card to throw out, but I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Well, I saw some speculation. Mm-hmm. Of people thinking that it was going to be Glenn. What's the actor's name?
Glenn Powell?
Glenn Powell, because
Chad Powers.
He briefly plays an Oregon Duck in Chad Powers, and Disney is the ones who own that show. Disney owns ESPN, which owns Game Day. So like maybe there's a little like, because they always try to like cross promote something that's a little bit relevant. I think that would be a pretty lame.
You bring in a clearly lifelong Texas Longhorn fan.
Correct.
To be the guest picker at Oregon.
Correct. Yeah. But who would the other?
So
because Oregon has a lot of famous football exports, but it turns out a lot of them are playing football right now.
My wild card pick. This person, not an Oregon alum, famously not an Oregon alum, but I believe this person has a child who attends Oregon and is going to be performing. Well, Bert Kreischer. Bert Kreischer is going to be at Moda Center Saturday night.
Okay.
On his tour. I think he's in Eugene Thursday night. And I believe his daughter goes to Oregon.
And I would assume like him and McAfee would probably gel well.
Well, they both take their shirts off. Yeah, exactly. And yeah. He's a football fan.
It's like a before and after like P90X ad.
P90X.
Sorry, Bert.
Those are good times.
I'm actually just rehashing a joke. I was at a wedding on Saturday, and somehow me, the groom, and our buddy Tom, a picture got taken of us with shirts all the way unbuttoned on the dance floor. I'm relatively out of shape. Derek's gotten into wedding shape. Tom's had probably an 8-pack since.
I hate that guy.
So it was just like, it's like day 1, day 45, day 90, P90.
Yeah.
P90X. Yeah, fun times.
But yeah, Bert Kreischer's my wild card.
Yeah, no, that the logistics of that makes sense.
Yeah. But see, because that's the thing. Like, and I include myself. Like, you get like kind of inside baseball of like because there's a lot of Oregon alums who are famous to us,
right? But
who you put on game day and they would probably be like, huh?
Oh, it's the dad from Modern Family, a show that stopped 10 years ago, and he's actually a Penn State alum.
Or it's like everyone always throws out Joey Harrington. I love Joey Harrington. Yeah. Joey Harrington would be great for Oregon fans. I don't know. Joey quite moves the needle across the country. So I don't know what you bring in as a guest picker, but I'm going Bert.
Would they ever, especially with ESPN now getting more of the NBA under the umbrella, would they ever go we're going to like make this crowd go crazy and bring in Dame?
Okay, Dame. I was thinking Dylan Brooks.
It's not like Dame has and because like Dame comes from an FCS school, so like it's not like he's
that would be a good one.
Yeah. It's not like he's playing.
Yes.
Right now he's got the
still
time.
rehabbing.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks would be interesting. I don't know how, again, logistically.
If
he shows up in like his
like a hoot,
bad guy wrestling outfit that his persona that he's created, and just goes scorched earth on everybody, I'd be all for it. I mean, it's kind of the perfect spot for Dylan Brooks.
Do you know who would be great at it? Bellotti.
Bellotti would be tremendous.
Yeah, but again, that might be one of those.
I love Mike Bellotti, but
like how much does Joey and Columbus care that? Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, it's going to be, other than the potential rain, which doesn't really affect me or you because of where we sit.
Right.
But it does affect my pregame plans, potential tailgating situation.
You still doing okay with these 12:30 kicks?
I love a 12:30 kick. Loving a 12:30 kick.
Do you think it's... I looked at this yesterday. Oregon hasn't had more than 3 kickoffs at 1 p.m. or earlier since 2011.
Okay.
This year, this will be their 4th already.
I love it.
I wonder how this is affecting the local Eugene economy. Like, are bars getting more because they're getting, like, the pre and post game? Are hotels getting less because games get out at, like, 4 o'clock and maybe you don't need that Saturday night to stay?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I mean, I can attest anecdotally to the bars are doing just fine.
Yeah.
Based upon my experience, especially post game of a 12:30 game, let's just say the cooler's doing just fine.
Right. Well, and you get more time post end of game, because what if it's a 7:30 kick? Game gets over around 11.
Yeah.
Or so. You only get 2 hours in a bar, 2-3 hours of bar time.
The 12:30 kicks are great, especially if you get a win. Now, if God forbid Oregon fumbles and then it sucks.
Yeah.
Then you have to, like, do you watch football the rest of the day? But like after a win at 12:30 and like it's 4 o'clock and like there's still big games left to watch and you got, nice little football buzz going, vibes are high. To me, it's the best.
Changing gears. You know what's driving me crazy? So we've talked about this. People are aware. The Mariners are in the playoffs.
How about that?
They're currently up 2-1 on the Tigers in the ALDS. Game 4 is about 2 hours from now, from while we're recording. By the time you listen to this, the game will be over. But wasn't able to go to any of the first 2 games. I know a lot of people who did, had a wedding weekend. I was like, okay, like maybe I'll try to get, if it comes back for game 5, or maybe look at the having not been attuned to following my own team in the playoffs. Baseball playoffs goes by so damn quick, man.
Yeah.
I was texting with Jeff last night, and I was like, well, if they lose tomorrow, I probably need to go to game 5. And he's like, oh man, like Seattle the day before a day game in Eugene. I was like, wait, game 5 would already be on Friday? Like I'm used to like the NBA or like the NHL, where it's like you play one game and then it's like a week off, it seems, between the, I guess it's like 3 days in between the two. But baseball is so content and not only getting the games over as fast as possible. Today's first pitch is at noon. Friday's first pitch is at noon. Like it's just like early games, man. It's great.
It is one of the things MLB does right, is season, boom, to the playoffs. It's back to back. You only get one travel day. We are moving because, one, I think just to try to get it done before Thanksgiving, right? There's a lot of playoff teams.
Correct.
And you got to put them and get them going back to back. Weather is, you always have to build in a little buffer there, because who knows not everybody has a retractable roof.
Did you see yesterday, while it was delayed in Detroit, at T-Mobile, they had done like a viewing party. Yeah. And while it was delayed, they were doing like fun facts about the roof, like on the board of like, it can protect you from rain or thunder or snow.
So I love the fact that the Major League Baseball, that it just gets going. Now, there is a bad side to this. I didn't have to deal with it this year because my team stunk. But like the Cincinnati Reds fans, or you dealt with this in like 2021, right? Where it's like postseason, they're doing it. Champagne party. Game, lost, season's over.
Right.
Like it is a very, like, wait, the champagne is still soaked into the carpet of the clubhouse, and the season is now over. Whereas like in the glory days of college football, you win the conference, like you get all of December to just love everything about it, right? Oregon fans, that from that Penn State game to that Rose Bowl, that was euphoria.
Exactly.
And then that first quarter happened, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but at least in that case, like, you still got to have a happy Christmas.
Exactly.
It didn't completely ruin the holidays.
So again, we don't know what the outcome is as people are going to be listening to this, but massive turnaround from game 1 to games 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
They got it figured out. I love when, especially in baseball, when stars are stars, and Julio and Cal
That was cool to see.
Are the stars.
Cool
they are the stars of this postseason so far. How are we doing? Emotionally wise, like, how are you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Game 1 was a weird situation for me because that's when my buddy's wedding reception was, and so they have the TV on, like, they have the game on a TV downstairs, but the whole party's happening upstairs, and it's like the 9th inning, and I get like the tap on the shoulder, like, hey, like, your toast is up. And so basically I didn't see how the game ended. Great toast.
Great toast.
Yeah, great toast. So I didn't have necessarily like the emotional roller coaster of like watching 3 hours of my team losing in game 1 and doing the, oh my God, they're gonna get swept. It's over. But it was pretty cool seeing Polanco hit those 2 bombs and then the stars coming through, because all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, like, those are the Mariners guys. Like, I'm not used to like watching the MLB post game and having like Derek Jeter like break down like how good these 2 Mariners guys are. Like, that's different. Like, I enjoy that. And then yesterday's game was awesome. I didn't get to watch it. I was driving home from Eugene, but like, driving home, perfect, beautiful day. Got Rick Riz on the radio. Mariners are winning a playoff game. Driving home from my sports writing job, mind you. Like, this is exactly how 10-year-old Tyson would have drawn up 2025. It's just like, Mariners are good. Tyson's writing about sports. He owns a car.
He has a driver's license.
Yeah.
Turns out it's awesome.
So I enjoyed the heck out of that one. Got a little bit stressful when Detroit tacked on a couple in the 9th there, but yeah, it's cool watching October baseball. That's as eloquent as I can.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Happy for you,
appreciate that.
and happy for.
I mean, you guys had your time 30 years ago or whatever it was.
It was 3 years ago when they won the World Series, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But
No, that wasn't Maddox and Smoltz and you guys won a World Series?
yeah, they did 95. It was we got one out of 14. No big deal.
That first baseman was great. Where's he playing now?
He plays for the Dodgers.
Frederick
Plays for the Dodgers. Yeah. And he hit
big teeth guy.
Yeah, had maybe one of the most magical postseason moments last year for
that
the
Judge
Dodgers.
one. I hate all the just forced Judge praise, but that was pretty cool last night.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
again, stars being stars.
Yeah.
That being said, real quick before we get to my hot take of the week, wedding toast. You were at a wedding. You gave a toast.
I did.
Now, you were the officiant, though.
Correct.
So the officiant gets to give a toast.
So the officiant, the actual wedding was on Wednesday, and it was just like 12 people, like friends and family.
Got it.
And then so Saturday was like the big party.
Understood.
And, I'm a good writer.
You are a good writer.
They were like this might solve everything.
This is gonna bring it all together.
Right.
All the strife that is going on in the world. This one speech.
No pressure.
About my buddy and maybe an inside joke and then a little quip here.
Yeah.
Lengthwise, where were you at?
About 2 minutes, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I feel like again, this is my ego speaking, but like I'm a pretty good orator. I understand about capturing an audience. I know when an audience is lost. Like I've been to a lot of weddings, and I have that feeling in the pit of my stomach of like, nope, they've lost them.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gone. They're gone now. You're talking about that time in your sorority sophomore year. Like,
see,
we've lost the audience. I feel like I could be like wedding speech consultant.
I was pretty brilliant in the way I constructed this because half the people in attendance were from Alaska, and half the people in attendance were from Portland. My buddy Derek is the link between the two.
There we go.
He grew up in Alaska. He's marrying a Portland girl. He's been down here for about 10 years, and he was a pretty like hard ass Alaskan growing up, and now he's a very soft Portlander. And so I was like, well, I'm going to include everybody in here. I was going to be like, here's things Portland people might not have known about Alaska Derek, and here's things Alaska people might not have known about Portland Derek. And brought them all together. But then it ended with like a nice, but like the through line between them all has been Derek's a great character. Oh man,
brilliant,
killed it
at 2 minutes, kept the audience engaged.
Yeah, and I am selling the speech at i5corridor.com. You can just put in different names and whatever cities they are from. You can license that out. Let's take a quick break here for a second before we get into Justin's hot take of the week. All right, Justin.
Yeah.
What's your rant today?
Yeah, I went back and forth as to whether or not I should bring this up, and then I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it.
I mean, we owe it to our audience.
I believe we do. I feel like this is an opinion that a lot of people share, but are maybe afraid to say out loud. So I'm going to be a voice for those that believe in this. I love watching TV. Obviously, TV has changed. I love TV shows, prestige TV, and you know, I know that authenticity is a thing that I'm sure producers of TV shows strive for. But we all agree that there is a suspension of disbelief, right? We all agree that that's an actor, right? That's not that's Mark Ruffalo. He's not an FBI agent. Like, that's just Mark Ruffalo playing an FBI agent. In that same spirit, if maybe a character in real life would speak a different language, can we just agree that they're just going to speak English in the TV show in like a weird accent and not put the subtitles down? Can we just do that forever?
You want you want them to speak in English with a weird accent, or you just want the subtitles?
No subtitles at all.
No subtitles.
I want I've been watching.
See, I don't mind it because I've turned into like an all the time subtitles guy, regardless.
Fair enough. Yeah. I've been watching The Terminal List, second season, Terminal List.
Good.
It is.
Okay.
But obviously, it's a show with international intrigue. Mm-hmm. And like a quarter of the show is in a different language and subtitles. Can we all just agree that the characters in this show just speak English? And that's how they communicate. They wouldn't do that in real life. But let's just agree that like in the movie Gladiator, the gladiator, Maximus Decimus Meridius, was a gladiator in ancient Rome. He spoke English, okay? Mm-hmm. And nobody thought that was weird,
right? Or
that he maybe should be speaking Italian because, I don't know, he's from Rome. He just spoke English. So, if you're an international CIA agent trying to infiltrate a terrorist cell somewhere in the other than America, can we just say they speak English?
And
can we just all speak English?
And for you, I'm assuming, because I know you well, you just don't like the extra work.
I really don't. I don't want to have to read on top of watch TV.
Well, I think there's two things to it. It's one thing if you're watching a show that might be an international film and you know that what you're getting into from the start. Where you're this is going to be subtitled the whole thing. Like, I'm going to have to pay attention. I think what gets you, because you do love your TV, you do like to relax. I'm assuming you're second screening a little bit. So it's a little bit harder when most of it is where you can just use your ears, and then all of a sudden maybe you're not paying attention, and then you miss the stuff that you didn't read on the screen.
Like, let's just say that my wife and I are sitting watching a show, and playoff baseball is also on the iPad, right? Let's just say that scenario. Can we just speak English? Mm-hmm. Like, can we just do it? Mm-hmm. Come on.
We're getting real close to getting an offer from Outkick to license out our.
That's what I said. I debated. I'm not saying because it's what it should. I'm just saying for me, out of laziness, to be perfectly honest. That I thought about did you ever see that movie? I think it's called Valkyrie.
Was that Tom Cruise?
Yeah, with Tom Cruise. They did the first because he was a German general trying to infiltrate and take Hitler down from the inside. And for the first 5 minutes, they spoke German, and they're like, okay, see, it's German. And then they all switched to speaking English the rest of the movie, knowing that none of these people would speak English, but we're trying to sell this movie to an American audience. We can't do it all in German.
What about in a film such as, because you brought the genre up, like Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah.
Where you have like American soldiers and they're in, they're in Germany,
Yes.
but then you have, like the German soldiers and
the German soldiers.
Do you want the German soldiers speaking to each other in
English in a German accent?
Okay.
That's what I want.
Okay.
We know that way. We know whose side they're on. But I don't have to read subtitles. And I don't think I'm alone.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think some people, like people who pretend to like shitty bands because nobody else likes them, but like you don't really like them, or people who say they like double IPAs. You don't like that. You just say you do. I feel like people don't want to sound uncultured. I am not afraid to sound uncultured, as I am uncultured. It's just, everybody's speaking English. Can we just have the terrorists speak English too? Or the assets or whomever.
Yeah, I mean, so like
doesn't always have to be the bad guys.
Your ideal movie is Die Hard.
Yes, 100%. There's no reason for Hans Gruber and his gang to speak English to one another, but they do. In accents.
What else you got?
That's kind of it.
Yeah,
That's kind of all I got. Where are you on Halloween decorations? I've noticed it's Halloween decorating time. I feel like it. I don't know about your neighborhood here. In my neighborhood in Southeast Portland, almost more Halloween decorations than Christmas decorations. Like, I was surprised by that. Where are you on Halloween decorations?
I'm coming around to it like a little bit.
Yeah.
We didn't Halloween decorate in Alaska because we would get maybe 2 kids to our door.
Fair enough.
And you would just leave the bowl outside. Like, just take as many as you want.
The Snickers are frozen solid.
And like whatever costume you had to either fit over or under about a 3-inch down jacket. I was an alien one year and I had like plastic eyes and those froze and fogged up and froze and I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, we always had the rain was the problem for us.
Right.
Like you had to I'm a Ghostbuster, but I'm wearing a raincoat.
Around here, like we'll if we happen to go to a pumpkin patch, which I feel like is maybe like an every other year sort of occasion, we'll do the pumpkins on the front step. Or last year Allie put up we just have some red lights on the front that like started for Halloween and then we're like, it's the same color for Christmas, and they've turned into like a year-long sort of thing.
Understood.
So, but like I do like the full like lean into Halloween because it's just kind of August, September. You do like that lean between like it's fall, but it's still summer. And then like once you see the Halloween decorations, you're like, it's sweatshirt weather. You can start like lighting the candles that make it smell like apple cinnamon or whatever in the house.
Very true.
We were on a walk a couple days ago and our neighbor was inflatables are big for Halloween now. And like you usually see like a Frankenstein in the front yard or something. This person has a spider that's covering his entire house. Like entire house. That'll never be me.
No.
But
you're more Harvest Festival.
Yeah, I'm tasteful. I'm
Halloween decoration.
I'm Sunset Magazine Halloween decoration. Better Homes and Garden.
Yeah, my wife, she has a pumpkin problem. She does. She has a pumpkin problem. I don't know if she's willing to admit it, but I'm just going to air it out here on the pod anyways. She can't stop buying pumpkins. We have no less than a dozen.
Okay.
Real and fake.
Do we have a variance in size?
Oh, 100%.
Warts, unwarts?
Exactly. Different colored, because there's like white pumpkins now. There's some that are more of a reddish hue, some with that nice bright orange. Yeah.
How did Halloween not get pumpkin pie?
That's a good question.
Is it
or just anything
because there's already enough sugar with like the candy?
But like nothing about Halloween other than the jack-o'-lantern. Like Halloween doesn't have any pumpkin treat whatsoever, right? I wouldn't say like a candy corn isn't pumpkin.
No.
None of the traditional Halloween candies are pumpkin. The only thing pumpkin is the thing that you carved.
Killed. Yeah.
You killed. Yeah, that you killed it.
Little old school Charlie Brown. I didn't know you were gonna kill it.
But then like from that, there's the pumpkin spice world, which again, save me your whole pumpkin spice hate. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Again, going back to the people that don't want to admit things because they'd rather be cool than have a good time. Pumpkin spice is awesome.
Pinky's out.
It in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, I would say my wife has a bit of a pumpkin problem, but that being said, when she gets a hankering for making a batch of pumpkin muffins, I'm not mad about it.
Put some chocolate chips in there.
No chocolate chips in the pumpkin muffins. We're pumpkin traditionalists around here.
My mom would do like a pumpkin chocolate chip muffin.
That sounds awesome still.
And you'd eat one of them and it's like,
you're good. You're ready for a nap?
Yeah. Oh, so good. So good. Well, I got to get off of here and go watch this baseball game.
Yep.
Depending on how it goes, maybe either send me congratulations or sympathy.
Okay. Again, we have to false finish as we always do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't send the condolence text to any of my friends whose teams face a bad loss. Just don't.
I let them approach me.
I don't need exactly. I was oh, sorry about your Braves. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not ready.
I know that feeling more than enough. So it's just like, you know what? We don't need to talk about it.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't honestly, and usually if my friend's team is having success, I'm so full of jealousy. Mm-hmm. I don't send a congratulations either. I might just be a bad friend.
No, I think you're just...
Unless you like all the teams that I like.
I just think you're a good baseball fan. So we will end on that. Make sure, if you're listening to this, check us out on YouTube. We are doing basically video episodes for all these. Wherever you're listening to this, please give a like and maybe leave us a review. 5 stars would be great. Maybe 6. It doesn't,
if they offer 6,
it doesn't go up to there, but maybe write your senator. We'll be back next week after Indiana and before they play
Rutgers. Scarlet Knights.
Oregon's first trip out to New Jersey. We'll be back later. Bye.